Hello, and welcome to this presentation. We are going to go through a new functionality in PrimeroEdge. You may have seen it in the release notes and not had an opportunity to ask questions. The purpose here is to give you more information on how to utilize it. We're going to discuss both the configuration and the usage of this new feature. Welcome to the new PrimeroEdge menu planner. We will be discussing the system setting that needs to be enabled, role permissions for the users who need access to the functionality, how to create and view an entire week of your menus at one time, how to go full screen in your browser for more space, how to add menu items to multiple days of the week at one time, and how to open and view existing menu cycles that you've already created with this new feature. The first step to be able to use this feature will be to get the system setting turned on so that you can access the menu planner. There is a single system setting that must be set to yes to access the menu planner, and a quick call or email to the customer care team will give them the opportunity to make it available to you. Let them know that you need the system setting for Enable Menu Planner set to yes, and they will take care of it for you. There is also a role permission to give access to this feature. You can add this permission to the appropriate users while you're waiting for the system setting to be set. It is a single permission labeled Menu Planner found in the Menu Planning section of the roles and is in the category labeled Menus. You'll select that permission and update the role. If you are logged into the system at the time you've been notified that the system setting has been updated, you will need to log out and log back into the software to access it. Here in the PrimeroEdge website, click on the little cogwheel here in the top right-hand corner of the page, and that will take you to the system area of the software. Once here, you'll choose Sites and Users to make that section expand. Then select the roles to edit permissions. Select the role for the users that need access to it. And you're looking for the role of Menu Planner, which is found in the Menu Planning section. Expanding that and moving to the category Menus, you'll find the permission for Menu Planner. Select that checkbox, scroll down, and choose Update Role, and that will apply that permission to the role that you're working with. Some role permissions and setting changes require you to log out and then back into the software for those to update for you. So here at the top of the page, you can simply select the three dots, choose Sign Out, and then log yourself back in. Creating your menus can now be done at the same time that you create your menu cycle. You no longer have to create the menus and then place them in the cycle. You can do everything from a single page. You name your menu cycle and make the normal selections for meal patterns, meal type, and so forth. But now when you click Save, the system will create placeholder menus automatically, and you simply add your menu items to those menus from the same page that you start on. Those menus will have the same name as the menu cycle, with the addition of Week 1, Day 1, Week 1, Day 2, abbreviated, and so forth, and will do so appropriately across multiple weeks based on the details entered for the cycle. As an added bonus, you get to break out of the standard frame of the page and view the menu planner in full screen. There's this tiny little button with a big purpose. Clicking on this button will expand the menus to fill the entire browser window. This makes it easier to see everything easily as you're building your menu cycle 1 week at a time. Let's head over to the website again and show you. Heading in here to the menu planner, I'm going to start the process for creating a menu cycle. I'm going to start by giving the menu cycle a name. And then selecting the meal pattern, meal type, and other parameters I need for this menu cycle. When you make that selection in the serving group dropdown, you'll see that this is a change from the standard Create Menu Cycle page. Since this is a mandatory field when you're creating a menu, it must be selected here since you're creating your menus and your cycle at the same time. When you make this selection, it will automatically put 100 as the count for each serving group that you select. You will have the ability to change that as you proceed. You also have the checkbox for projected servings count as a percentage. Another one of the attributes when creating your menu. You still have access to that if you're accustomed to using it. I'm going to click on the Save button now that I've made my selections. And now I magically have all of my menus created at the same time. They are currently empty and therefore are just placeholders until I add menu items. I talked about having the ability to go full screen on this page. You do have options on how you want to view it. Here at the top of the page, you have these 3 little bars. Clicking on those will shrink that column on the left-hand side, and this function works throughout any page within PrimeroEdge. You'll see that I do still have the headers here, and that is the next thing I'm going to show you. So even with this column in place, I can come to that tiny little icon. Clicking on that pops you out of that frame and makes all of those menus go full screen. This way you can work on the entire page at one time and you don't have that heading area at the top. If you want to view the headings on the screen again, simply click that little icon located at the very top of the page, and it will restore your view back into the frame that you started with. Now it's time to really start having fun. You don't really have menus until you add menu items, and you have multiple methods of getting those into place. You can add menu items using quick lists, menu templates, or other menus from your menu cycles. And you can select a specific day or multiple days of the week that you want to apply it to. Quick lists are great for being able to add an entire grouping of menu items to a menu at one time. These are not tied to site types, meal types, or serving groups. If you have a grouping of condiments that always go in a specific menu line, or the same milks are always served on every meal, or even specific things always served on Hamburger Thursday, you can add them all at one time instead of individually with this feature. You can also create templates to use as a base for your menus. You can choose to customize templates for specific meal types or site groups, but you can also choose all so that you can use them district-wide. These are great when you have a base menu that you serve, such as Hamburger Thursday, across the district, but then may have seasonal add-ons that change. You also have the abilities to select menu cycles and their associated menus, and apply those menus to the dates that you select. You still have access to make changes even after you use any of these methods to add menu items in the menu planner. Let's head over to the website and show you each of these options. Here on this page where we started out, you'll see this Copy From button. I'm going to click on that and show you the different selectors available here. In the pop-up window that comes up, you'll have a Copy From drop-down. In that drop-down, you'll see Quick List, Menu, Menu Template, and Menu Cycle. When I select Quick List in that drop-down, you'll see that I can also search by Quick List name next to it. Once I have selected the Quick List that I want to use, you'll see that I can apply it to a specific day or all 5 days for the week that I'm working on. In this instance, I've selected my milk and I want to apply it to all days of the week. I do also have the checkbox for Apply Projected Serving Counts. So if I'm using that feature, it is available. Once I've made my selections regarding this, I click the Apply button and you'll see those milks appear in the list. I also now have the fields so that I can enter my counts for those meals, and those counts will apply to each of the days selected. I'm going to click the Add and Close button here so that you can see those populate on the menus behind it. Clicking that button, and you'll see that I have milks on all 5 of the days in front of me. Now I am looking at week 1. I can select week 2, and you'll see that it does not yet have those milks. I would need to also add the milk to those dates. I'm going to shift back to week 1 to work with for now. I'm going to click the Copy From button again. Now, menu templates work the same way. So I could select a menu template, and just as with Quick List, they would appear in that drop-down next to it to select from. But you also have menus and menu cycles in that drop-down. So selecting menu, I can search by menu name. If I select menu cycle, then I can select the menu cycle name, the week of that cycle I wish to apply or copy from, and then which menu to apply to which day. So if I know that Tuesday is the only day that's going to be different, and I want Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to be repeated from that cycle, I can choose week 1, day 1, apply, and you'll see that those appear with simply Monday marked. My milk is also in the list still. I can come back, choose Tuesday, move that date, click apply, and all of those Tuesday menu items now appear. Wednesday, apply, and so forth. So it's quick and easy to make a copy of previous menus. Now Thursday, I may choose that I want week 2 Thursday instead of week 1 Monday. Apply. There's my Thursday. And then move back to week 1, choose that Friday, and apply. I also have the ability to enter my counts as I go so that I can enter in those numbers. Otherwise, simply clicking Add and Close populates my menus with the selected menu items. Now here on this page, I still have many of the features that you're accustomed to when building your menus. I have the offer with. Clicking on that gives me the pop-up that you're accustomed to seeing on the menus. You can make those selections. Click that Add button there in the top right-hand corner, and you'll see those displayed there on the page. There is a scroll bar if there are multiple items. And you have the P for primary and the C for complementary. Next to each menu item, you also still have your question mark in the bubble. Clicking on that gives you details about the specific recipe or menu item. There's an edit pencil next to each menu item as well. This is where you can change menu item categories should you need to. Edit the choose quantities on any of those categories. If you have multiple serving sizes, those appear in the drop-down. And you can enter or edit the projected serving counts. If that menu item is served to multiple days, you can choose to apply those changes to all days of the week or only the date that you have selected. If you want to view the menu in the standard view, you can also click on the menu name at the top of any one of those dates. That menu pops open in the traditional view, and any changes that you make on this page will also take place on the menu planner page. So if I were to choose to enter my counts on this page, I would be able to do that. Simply click that Save button. You can close that tab, and when I click Save here and select one of those menu items I just added counts to, you'll see that count in that pop-up window. You have a weekly analysis button here at the top bar to get your analysis for the entire week, or you can view an analysis for each day of the week. The same with your cost reports. You can view the cost report for the entire week or for each day. And you also have the menu calendar preview so that you can view that report. I have one last fun surprise, and that's the ability to open and work with menu cycles that you've already created. Navigate to the menu planning, menus, menu cycles, and on that page you can search for specific menu cycles or simply click the apply button to get a full list of your menu cycles. Once you know which cycle you want to work with, you can select the link labeled View to open that cycle in the menu planner. Clicking on the name of the cycle takes you to the additional menu cycle page. Inside the website, select Menu Cycles on the left-hand side. I click that Apply button and I get a list of the menu cycles that are created, and you'll see this View link next to it. Clicking on that word View opens a new tab for you, and you have that menu cycle opened in the menu planner now. And again, you do have access to switch weeks as needed. Pop out of that frame should you need to. All of that functionality is available to you. Now, if I click on the name of the menu cycle, that goes to the traditional menu cycle page that you're accustomed to. Another change that we've made is that your menu names are now in a drop-down with Smart Search, so it's easy to type in and narrow down what you're seeing in that drop-down. And make your selection. We also have your serving groups listed next to the side, so you can confirm that you have the correct serving groups for each of the menus that you placed in the menu cycle. And clicking on the serving group is what opens the menu that you wish to select. So you can still have access to each of your menus from that standard menu cycle page. The links at the top are also not changed. I can click to go back to menu cycle and I get right back where I was. I want to thank you for spending time learning about this new feature. This wraps up the demonstration, and now it's your turn to dive in and start checking it out yourself. Remember, for that system setting to have this feature turned on, you can either call or email the customer care team, and they will take care of that for you. Thank you.